I feel like I should put a title, like, because people say such funny things. Like, salt would be a perfect title for this episode.
And you know what it's about.
Yeah, exactly. You'd like immediately kind of get the sense of like, oh, okay, cooking. I got that.
Yeah.
Before I start, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Not a Journalist. I'm here with Marissa, the chef from LJ's Private Dining, who has been in competitions, who has been cooking, who has been quarantine cooking for people, which has been great, offering options for people for meals, and that is really, really dope. And yeah, I just wanted to say, what's up?
What
How you been?
up? I've been great. How about you?
I'm just chilling. I'm just doing this quarantine podding thing, just a little keeping myself busy.
Whatever you got to do to pass the time.
Yo, facts. I was talking to. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you saw my story, but if some of you guys are watching and you've seen my story on social media, someone was asking me like, "Hey, man, how come the only thing you post about nowadays is just like your podcast?" And I was just like, "Well, oh yeah, everyone's coming in. Are they coming to watch you?" I thought they were coming to hang out. I was all excited. But yeah, people have just been like, "Oh, all you share is like your podcast stuff," and I'm just like, "Ah, well, I could share the other stuff, but the other stuff is literally just me watching TV. Do you guys want to see the list of TV shows I watch?" So now I posted a long list of all the TV shows I've been watching. I was like, if this is what you guys want, here's a list of like the
Here
10,
it is.
10 shows that I binged in one day in an unhealthy manner, watching them at 1.5 speed. Brian, are you
Yeah,
okay?
I saw that. So, what's it like watching a show at 1.5 speed?
Okay, so I made the mistake today of watching a sad show right before we started. I watched the season finale of Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, and I don't want to give away too much because if people are still watching the show, I'll let them. But
Right, right.
that song is a musical, so every episode is people singing and dancing. So and I watched that at 1.5 speed. So it turns into these really weird episodes because some of the like they're already singing and then the dancing just turns into them like like yeah, just like high speed dancing around. There was one scene where they're singing "The Boy Is Mine." These two actresses are singing "The Boy Is Mine" in an office, and "The Boy Is Mine" is not meant to be sung at that speed. So
No,
instead of like
no.
"the boy is," it was like "the boy is my," and they're like running up the stairs and like mirror dancing together, and I'm like, okay, and then I just kept watching. I was like, whatever. So yeah.
So, not for musicals.
No, it is not a good thing to do it with musicals. But I because I watch so much television, like for example, the guys sent me a message saying like, "Hey, can we all make sure to watch the new Justice League Apocalypse movie because we're going to talk about it on the podcast tomorrow." And I was just like, "Oh, I didn't even know it was out. I'll watch it for sure." So I didn't watch that at one. I watched that at 1.25 cuz I didn't
Okay.
cuz I wanted to like
Okay.
I don't know. But then I watched it because I wanted to talk to the guys about it. But then I was just like, I have so many other things I want to watch. Like I watched The Last Dance, the Chicago Bulls thing, caught up
Yep,
on
yep.
all the available episodes through memes, and that's all. That's what I've been doing. And what have you been watching? What have you been quarantine binging? Because you and I were both
Oof,
TV
honestly,
geeks.
I haven't watched too much. I have to admit that I did watch Tiger King when all of that
Oh
like
no.
pandemonium was going on.
Yes.
Carol Baskin. Um, I had to get in on it. It was flooding all of my social media way
Yes.
too much for
Yeah.
me not to watch it. And it seemed like the appropriate kind of trash.
Oh no.
So,
Did
yeah, I did watch that. Otherwise, honestly, I feel like such an old fart. I've been watching like Law and Order SVU reruns.
yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. if if
um,
tomorrow Law and Order like they're launching the new Peacock service, and if tomorrow they launched a separate service that was only Law and Order shows, I would still pay for that.
I would absolutely subscribe.
Why not? All that shit's amazing.
Um, I've been hitting some of the like classics. I've been going through Disney Plus. I watched Mighty
Okay.
Ducks last week.
Yeah.
Just going through the classics, a little Jumanji, original Jumanji.
Yes, OG.
Um, but not too much TV. The most recent show that I picked up was this new season of Penny Dreadful.
Oh
Um,
yeah, the new series, the
yeah.
City of Angels,
So
I think it's
yeah,
called.
City of
Yeah,
Angels.
yeah, yeah.
And it's been pretty interesting so far. It's only 2 episodes in,
Oh, the second
but
episode dropped. Okay, good.
otherwise, like I haven't been watching too much.
But
It's been like just real
what
trash.
about Westworld? Because you are one of the few people who like. I remember when we watched Westworld when we were working together and we
Yeah.
watched season one. You figured stuff out before me, and I
Yeah,
and you were like cluing me in on all the hints, and I was like, oh shit, I did not catch that.
honestly, the first season was so dope. I
Yeah.
started watching the second season and fell off the wagon.
Okay.
And recently started back up. So actually, I take back what I said. I haven't only been watching trash. I've revisited season 2 of Westworld,
Dope. Dope.
and I'm like halfway through it. So I want to catch up because I heard the third
Oh no.
season has a lot of like celebrity cameos.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people pop
So I
up in the
want to
third
check it
one.
out.
The other thing is the unfortunate thing, the rating dropped 18% for season 3, and I'm hoping that whatever they do for season 4 can, because I'm going to talk about it more tomorrow, but season 3 was not as solid as season 2, and that was already not as solid as season 2 and season 1 are really good actually.
As season 1.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm halfway through season 2, and as entertained as I am, it definitely doesn't have the same, like, it doesn't grab you the same way season 1
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
And I don't have to think as hard, which I'm
Yeah.
upset about.
Yes. Yo, that's one of the things with television. I feel like television has completely I don't think as hard when I watch TV. Almost everything I watch is just
Well,
like
that's it.
yeah. Yeah.
So going from season 1 to season 2, I'm like, wow, like season 1, I was kind of thinking throughout every
Yeah.
episode, what could this be? And then season 2, I'm like, I'm thinking a lot less.
Yeah.
And I don't
I
appreciate
like
that.
I like the face
And
you
it's
made.
not because I'm getting smarter.
It's because the writers have gotten lazy.
Exactly. Like I'm not giving myself any credit here.
That's hilarious. But one of the cool things is you yourself were on television. Speaking of
I
TV,
was.
what like, and I know it was a little bit a while ago, but I feel like it did influence some of the influence where you are right now, or
Absolutely.
was that always like? Did you always think like I want to be a chef?
No, 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 no,
Okay,
never.
yeah,
Like,
because
going on MasterChef a couple of years ago was definitely the catapult
yeah.
that sent me on this trajectory. Like, I would have never thought in a million years that I'd be cooking for a living. But now I can't see myself doing anything else. So
Hot
it's
damn.
great.
Hot damn. Is there
Yeah.
my partner recently had me watching season 10 of the American one, and I and I see how stressed some of the people are. I see how they're being spoken to. I see the relationships being built. I see the tension being built between people. Was the Canadian one like that? Because I know Americans like to sensationalize everything, and Canadians are known for being so polite. So what was?
Honestly, it was probably so hard for the editors and the producers of the show to create drama because we were all so nice to each other. Like it was sad. It was
True.
sad. Like the slightest possible like maybe drama.
Yeah.
They were, yes, let's go, let's go. Otherwise it was really just like, oh my God, we're all great.
Let's do this together. You like roll your eyes slightly over something completely unrelated. They splice it in. You're like, that's not what that was.
You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's pretty
But
cool.
it was still super stressful at times.
Mm,
It was very much a competition.
yeah,
We just weren't catty. Like
yeah,
that kind of disrespectful aspect that is kind of what draws in a lot of American reality TV.
yeah,
We were missing that. We acknowledge that it was a competition and there has to be only one winner and like you're going hard, but
yeah,
it wasn't at the expense of like, you weren't putting someone down to
yeah.
get there.
That's really
So
good. I'm happy that
it
as
was very
Canadians,
Canadian.
yeah, I'm really happy that as Canadians we stay true to that whole idea of like you can be competitive and still respect people. Whereas sometimes like you watch
Absolutely.
yeah, you watch some of these reality TV shows and they outright do not like I used to watch Big Brother, and I loved watching the drama between them.
Oh my God, me too.
But like at some point, I had to be like, I can't, because I stopped watching reality TV cold turkey. Like there's one year where
Yeah.
I said to, I think I was judging people who are watching Survivor because I like to be bougie and hoity-toity sometimes for no reason. Because who am I? I'm watching
Nothing wrong with that.
but I'm watching the trashiest of trash TV at the same time. Like, you know, I've said it.
But are you watching 90 Day Fiancé?
Yeah, no. I have
So
not.
if you're not watching 90 Day Fiancé, you're good.
Yeah,
You're good. You can still go lower.
Yeah. I like the rungs on the ladder.
Yeah.
Like that's the lower. Oh my God. Now there's Beyond 90 Days or Before 90 Days or something. They added like a new show.
Get out of here.
Good
Get out of
Lord.
here.
I can't imagine. I can't. But yeah, okay, that's cool. Because I was always wondering, and I know when you came back, I wanted to like ask you a bit about it, but I also felt like, well, no, you just came back, and you have like so much going on. Also, I don't imagine it was fun because everyone was talking to you about it at the time. Like,
It was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
oh
Come
yeah,
on,
okay.
man. It was so much fun.
Yeah, I mean,
It never gets old.
that
It
is
never
so
gets
cool.
old. It's so much. It was so cool, and like we're all still pretty close. We
Oh,
talk
good.
relatively frequently.
Okay.
So like again, that just goes to show what kind of competition it was, and the kind of environment we were in, and how we treated each other. You know, like we made some genuine friends,
That's good.
and considering it's an experience that you can only share with so many people,
Mm,
like we have that bond.
that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
And then that led to what you're doing now, which I think is super cool. What was the thing that made you decide like, okay, I did the competition, I had so much fun, but now I'm like, because there's a difference, right? There's a difference between like having fun and then being like, this is now my life's mission. So what was the catalyst that like, because that was the jumping point, but what like pushed you to be like, life decision, let's go?
Well, the 6 months, like, oh no, it was more than that. It was like 7 or 8 months between filming the show and it actually airing.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty much time for me to plot how I'm
Oh.
going to capitalize on this
True,
opportunity.
true.
And it really was through that. And having been on the show and being in such like a 100% go, go, go cooking environment for quite a few weeks, it just like, it brought out so many things to me. Like I didn't even know that I would be able to do half of the things that I did while I was on the show. And coming back with that kind of motivation and feeling inspired, I just thought to myself, like, why the heck not? Like, take a chance. And what better coattails to ride than a TV show that like runs in I don't know how many countries.
Yo.
Like, how much more exposure could I ask for?
Yeah. What's it like when people approach you for jobs when they've seen you on the show? Like, how are those interactions? Because I feel like when I've been recognized in my small, minuscule experience as a radio host, where people would recognize me from events, and they're just like, "Hey, you're the DJ." That in comparison to having been on a national, like coast to coast series, must be a very different thing.
Yeah.
So, what was that experience like when people first meet you after?
Yeah, well, the first little while after the show aired and while it was airing was kind of interesting. It was something I really didn't expect at all, but like going to the grocery store changed. And I
Yeah.
was really, really taken aback when people were like, "Oh my God, were you on? Oh my God, were you on?" Or with their shopping carts, like just following me up and down the aisles in grocery stores. And we're really like just far enough,
Yeah.
but also just close enough that I know that they're there.
Yeah.
Um,
Picking the
or like
exact same
literally
stuff
just
you're
stopping me
picking.
on the street. They were checking out my basket. What
Yeah.
am I buying? What am I buying? It was a joke. I couldn't get over it. And funny story, I'd like spent the day with my brother and I took him shopping with me. We went on a bunch of errands and pretty much we'd gone to 4 different locations
Yeah.
in the city. And at each spot, someone approached me like, "Oh my God, you're on the show."
That's
And my
so
brother
cool.
was like, by the end of it, he was just like, "What is your life?"
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I didn't expect this. Um,
Humble.
but that was like kind of initial shock. That happened for about like a year
Mm-hmm.
where it happened pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of died down a bit. But it's fun when clients get in touch with me. It early on, like let's say about the same time frame, the first year, most of my clients were like, "Oh my God, I saw you on the show. I want to work with you. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I saw you on the show. I want to work with you." Now it's more like, oh my God, somebody told me about you, and I heard from so and so and so and so and so and so, and I've gotten to a point now where like people don't know that
The
I
show.
was on the show,
Yeah.
and that is more fun
Okay, I was
because
gonna
it
ask.
like one, it validates that like what I'm doing is good.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'm doing a good job, and that being on the show didn't define my capabilities. So now it's a fun conversation piece. Oh yeah, my background is no, I've never worked in a restaurant, but I was on a TV show.
Yeah. That is cool.
Yeah.
What are some of the signature? Well, first I'll ask you, what's the signature style you like to cook in? Because, like
What's your favorite thing to eat?
oh, me it's lasagna.
Okay, so if lasagna is your favorite thing, then that's my favorite thing to make. Like
Oh, that's dope.
whatever your favorite thing to eat is, like I'll make you like it more.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I was so mad
So
when I didn't order because I think your first week for the quarantine dining that
was
you're doing.
lasagna.
Yeah, so I had been my partner and I had been talking about like ordering from like somewhere just in bulk at one point. And I
Right.
saw your post and I was just like, oh man, I should convince her to get the lasagna. But I'd also been spending more than I should
I hear you.
as someone who had been laid off. I was like spending a little too much, and my EI hadn't even come in yet, and she's
Right.
the breadwinner, and I'm sitting there like, can I just buy this other $50 thing to make me happy while
Right.
we're in quarantine? And she's just like, could we wait till things are? And I'm just like, fine, I guess I won't spend the
Fine.
money. What's a credit card for? So that's why. So the only reason I didn't order it that day, and I'm so mad that I didn't because I thought you were gonna like have it the next week too. And I'm happy that your menu changed because that makes sense. But I was so excited like the week after to be like, oh, and then the new menu. I was like, damn it.
Damn it. Yeah.
Yeah, that
The
was.
lasagnas were bomb too. Like
Yep.
they were really, really good. Not to put salt in the wound, kind of putting a bit more salt
I know
in the
you are
wound.
putting salt in the wound. I love
They were really,
lasagna.
really good.
I am Garfield, damn it. I am Garfield. I used to hate Mondays and I want my lasagna.
Now
No.
we love Mondays because
Yeah, true.
Mondays are Fridays. Every day is Friday. Actually, every day's Saturday, as far
True,
as I'm
true.
concerned.
Yeah, it all feels. Do you? I was saying to someone the other day, I do genuinely miss the Friday feeling though, of like having done something and being like, oh yeah, bitches, I'm going home and I'm not thinking about this because now I don't think about anything every day and that seems.
You know what? That's gonna wear off
Oh yeah, okay,
because eventually, like I kind of had that feeling too for a while,
okay,
but then I realized that every day's the weekend.
okay, okay.
You know,
You've given me
I
hope.
don't have that Monday feeling anymore, or
Yeah,
that Tuesday feeling anymore,
yeah,
or
yeah.
that Wednesday or Thursday feeling anymore.
When you get to Wednesday, you're like, oh god, it's almost half over. Yeah,
No, every day I'm like, oh, it's awesome. What am I going to do today? Whatever I want.
that is okay. Okay, you've given me hope because honestly, that for like, because I don't even know how many weeks it's been, but the other day I was genuinely like, someone posted about remember Fridays, and I was just like, yes, I miss them. I was like, I do. I like the 1,000 yard stare, just like yes, Fridays. I knew
Fridays,
I knew
Fridays.
them well. And I'm not even like it's not even like I like to drink, so I can't even say I was like happy hour Friday. No, it's just I just like knowing that the week was over.
Yeah, just the end of the week.
Yeah.
So that's the thing with working that regular 9 to 5 job. You're conditioned to like look forward to this one
Yeah.
day.
Oh shit, that is so true.
Now every day's beautiful.
And you like what was that transition like for you though? Because when you went 9 to 5 to like doing your own thing, for me I was forced into it because of a quarantine, but it was a decision for you that you kind of were like, this is what I want to do now. What kind of feeling?
Yeah.
Because it's
I mean, I took a lot of naps. I took a lot of naps. That's the first thing.
yeah.
The first part of my transition from, that
Corporate.
corporate life
Yeah.
to the self-employed life. Yeah, I was napping whenever I felt like it.
That's dope.
And just kind of like, I didn't put any pressure on myself to accomplish anything too quickly.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same approach that I've taken to this quarantine situation. I just kind of like let myself be and fall into a routine and then eventually give myself some structure because
Yeah.
you got to enjoy it for a little.
True.
Because it's like a kind of a how many opportunities are you going to have where you kind of have no responsibilities really
Yeah.
for a little cushion period?
Yeah.
And you can just kind of reset. So I took that time and then slowly but surely worked on really building my brand. The thing is, by the time I stopped working in an office, I
Mm.
had already my company had already been going for a few months, and
Mm.
I'd already started building my client base and
Okay.
honing my skills and all of that. So when I actually stopped working at the office, it was already set in motion.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah.
I kind of did take it like a vacation.
Yeah. 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 That's cool. Yeah, I feel like I've had a lot of people ask me if I'm thinking of like trying to do something similar with the podcasting. I've had a few people ask me if I'd be interested in like writing a podcasting guide, for example, or
Right.
doing like workshops or like teaching people about audio equipment and what types of things. And I do enjoy it a lot. I mean, you knew what I was doing. I was doing music for
Yeah.
commercial spaces, which I also enjoy a lot, which I think is one of the harder things. If I didn't enjoy what I was doing, I would probably right now be like, okay, I got laid off. Let's go into the next thing. But at the same time,
Yeah.
I am hoping that I would get to go back because it still was fun to make like, I was doing the playlist for a large fast food commercial chain that goes across Canada, and I won't say it
Can we
here.
say their names or not?
I don't think I'm
Because I
supposed
was
to.
about to say it.
I
Like, what if I say it? Is it okay if I say
I
it?
mean, I'll say this. I was just loving it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just loving
I
it.
was just loving it. And doing that playlist was fun. And whenever people would ask me about it, I'd be like, yeah, it was a cool experience because knowing that that's one of the biggest fast food chains in the world, let alone in Canada, and that
Yep.
when I was building that playlist, and I'm gonna say this, I would sneak a little bit of like Dilla,
Hell
instrumental Dilla,
yes.
into like a playlist in the afternoon, and thinking that at some point someone was eating one of the fast food items of this location, maybe like a big, taking a big bite out of something, and then
Or like
hearing,
a or eating a nugget shaped
yeah, yeah, yeah,
piece
but
of chicken.
yeah, yeah. But and then to hear like a Dilla beat in the background to that in that place to me seemed like the coolest thing I'd ever done in my life. I was just
That's pretty dope.
like I just like that idea so much because just I'm hoping that that kid is like bobbing their head and being like, what is this? And
Where am I?
yeah, yeah, this is not what I would expect here.
In Outremont.
Yeah, yeah. A 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Outremont, eating fast food and hearing Dilla sounds wild, but sounds so much fun.
Sounds appropriate to me.
I mean, it should be. What have you been listening to a lot of music lately? Because that's a lot of people have been asking me about that, and I realize I'm not. I feel bad saying that, but I've been quarantined so much that I just
Okay. So I hadn't been listening to music for like I hadn't opened my Spotify for weeks.
right. Okay.
But then something happened, and I'm not proud to say it, but TikTok happened.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I I downloaded that app months ago.
Same,
I don't
same.
know why.
Yeah,
I downloaded it months ago, and then when I had to like sign up for something, I was like, forget it, never did it.
yeah.
Um, and then I was influenced. I was influenced, and I was a sheep,
Yep.
signed up,
Yeah.
and oh, I'm sucked in.
Yeah.
They've got their claws in me, and good. So I'm hearing these songs in like 15-second clips,
Yeah.
and then I would get into my car to do deliveries for like my food deliveries,
Yeah.
and I'm hearing the songs on the radio that I was
Yeah.
hearing on TikTok.
Mm.
Which has then made me open my Spotify and be like, hey,
Yeah.
okay.
Here's this
I can
playlist
hear
now.
more than 15 seconds of a song.
Do you realize that it is getting your song on TikTok is now the new rollout?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
When
actually
Drake put out Tuesday Slide,
yeah.
that was 100% a TikTok song.
Yes. That's the crazy thing to me that music is now being produced for 15-second or 1 minute clips.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, we were already getting shorter and shorter songs, but now that they're being produced specifically to be used in clips for people to develop dances to or
I
to
know.
lip sync to, that seems crazy to me.
It's working though.
Oh my god.
Because they're getting so many spins. You're getting so many spins. I can't like I'm in love with Doja Cat because of
Yeah.
TikTok.
God, I hate the fact that I love her that much too.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah,
It's a guilty pleasure.
and I got to give a shout out to oh my god, why did I just Camille. Remember Camille that used to work with us?
Yes.
She introduced me to Doja Cat when her with her EP, the one with nunchucks on it, when it first came out years ago. And so
Yeah.
I've been listening to Doja Cat this whole time and just watching her blow up and like do her thing. Same thing with Lizzo. I've been listening
Same
to
thing with Lizzo.
Yeah.
I've been listening to Lizzo for years. Now I can't listen to anything she puts out, which I
Right.
feel bad to say, but I really cannot because I was listening to Lizzo when nobody knew who the fuck Lizzo was.
Yes.
Pardon my French.
Is it? Oh no, you can swear. Is it the fact that do you think she's changed that much, or is it the fact that it's just too many people that just saying I'm that bitch that's driving you crazy?
If I hear one more person say they took a DNA test, no, it's the oversaturation at this point. Like
Yeah.
the first couple of times I heard Truth Hurts, I was like banging, and then I heard it 1,000 more times.
Yeah.
And now I have a visceral response whenever I hear any part of a recent Lizzo track.
Man, I know. It sucks that as music fans, we probably listen to stuff just in passing, but we listen to it so early. I know I do. I know you do.
Oh
Because
yeah,
you and I used to talk about it all the time at work. Like we would walk
I
in
know.
when new albums would come out, and I'd be like, "Yo, you heard this?" You're like, "Yeah, did you hear this track?" And we'd like break it down. We have these great conversations, and then like you'd see some of these artists just like blow up, blow up, blow up, and you're like, oh, "Okay." But then by the time they're on Billboard and every kid in the world is singing their songs, you're just
I
like,
never want to hear it again.
"Yeah."
But
Huh.
it's sad.
And it's not even like if the artist is doing anything bad. They're just blowing up. I can't even
No,
hate
they
them.
just made it. Like they
Yeah.
made it.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. How do we
It's kind of unfortunate though because like so many artists have made it. It's a more recent generational thing
mm,
because so many artists have made it, and I there are songs that I can listen to 100,000 times.
yeah.
Artists that are bigger, arguably, than the big superstars that we have today.
Mm,
But it's the
yeah.
oversaturation because you're not
Yeah.
only hearing it on the radio, you're
Yeah.
hearing it on TikTok, you're hearing it when you go on Instagram, you're seeing it in commercials on TV. Like it's
Yeah.
everywhere. And when they pick a person, whether it's Lizzo or poor Billie Eilish,
Yeah.
like they just put
Poor
you
Billy.
everywhere, everywhere.
Yo, that is a good fucking point and a big fact. It's not that these artists like I never got tired of Mariah Carey. I never got tired of
Same.
Whitney. I never got tired of any of the early like 90s R&B, Brandy, Monica, but I got
TLC,
yeah. But I got tired of Britney, and that's because Britney was everywhere. She was in every
everywhere.
commercial. She was in every song. They played her music videos nonstop. I was a little tired of Christina, mostly because they kept comparing her to Britney. And you're right,
Right.
that like that generational thing. Because when I was growing up, the Jackson 5 and then Michael, I feel like they were probably the equivalent in popularity as to any boy band or pop star now, right? They were
Yeah,
just probably
yeah,
seen
definitely.
all the time. And I wonder if back then people were just like, oh, not them again. But like, I would hope not because it wasn't the same thing, right? Like you said,
Right.
it's the fact that there's so many different options to hear them.
That's it. Like I can be watching TV and like see three different commercials
Yeah.
if I'm watching TV with
Yeah, yeah,
commercials.
yeah, yeah,
But I'll
yeah.
see three different commercials for three different brands using the same artist.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like it's in your face. You can't avoid it. So it's so easy to get sick, especially now because you have commercial culture, which is 30 seconds, and now
Yeah.
you have TikTok culture, which is like 15
15.
seconds. If I hear a song on the radio and there's more than 15 seconds of it, I don't
Yeah.
want to hear it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, yo, yes, 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 yes. Facts, facts, facts. It is a weird thing that we're being programmed that when a song is like too long, you're just like, okay, I almost want to skip. Like the new.
That's also because the music is trash. Because I can listen to Bohemian Rhapsody like 100,000 times, and that's a 10-minute song.
Fair,
And Rapper
fair.
Delight is another 10-minute song, and just
Yeah,
play that on repeat.
that's fair. That's fair.
But how many times can I hear I'm bored in the house and I'm in the house bored, bored in the house and I'm in the house bored? Like I'm done.
That new Meg The Stallion with Beyonce, I never heard past the Beyonce's verse. So when I
Oh, it's so good too.
it's a good song. It's just that when I listened to the full song the first time, it was the like 30th time I had heard the song, but the first time I heard the full song
in its entirety.
And once it got past the point where if you don't have to jump to pull on your jeans, you don't understand, like whatever.
Yeah.
I got it from Tina, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, cool line. And then it continues. It's like, wait, the song doesn't stop here. Why are we still going? You've said what you have to say. Next song. Why am I? And then the melody kind of changes and everything. I was like, no,
yeah.
I don't want to hear this. I actually stopped the song because
I only want to hear the version where I can do the dance.
Yeah, and I'm not even doing the dances. But you're right. I don't want to hear past the dance. Like, stop, Beyonce. You're ruining this perfect 15 seconds I had.
Like, once we get past the first chorus, I'm finished.
Now I understand why. Like part of my job was reviewing song lyrics, and now I started noticing that newer songs literally only have one verse. Sometimes it starts.
Yes.
It's like it starts with the chorus. Oh no, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, bridge, pre-chorus, chorus, and then like some other thing at the end.
Kind of, if there's a feature.
Ad-lib, yeah. And I'm like, and I look at the lyrics, I'm like, wait, so you just repeat the first part over again, and then you have one verse in the middle where you're trying to say something of substance, and you still don't even land? I was like, what is happening with these songs? Yeah, that is.
They're terrible.
It's scary. Pop music is scary right now. Is TikTok gonna kill?
That's a whole other episode.
No. Like video killed the radio star. I feel like TikTok's gonna kill the pop star. It's gonna do something that's just gonna, I don't know.
Well, it's hurting a lot of people. Like, I feel bad for actual professional dancers who work their butts off.
Oh yeah, full careers.
And can't even get a job.
Yeah.
And these influencers who are what?
Yeah.
Like bored kids in Malibu.
Yeah.
Throwing up like making tons of money.
Yo. Also, like it's the other weird thing about TikTok is, so I got to speak at a Black History Month event, and there was like I did the morning part, and there was like a group of kids, and after the thing was done, the kids wanted to learn about podcasting, so they're all sitting at my table, and then they were all trying to talk to me about TikTok. Because TikTok's the thing. Here's my old ass talking to like a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old, and two like 9-year-old sisters, and they're all trying to explain TikTok to me, and like they're doing dances in front of me, and like, yeah, you got to do this, and so I'm like, well, if you want to explain to people, let's sit down and I'll interview you and you can discuss it. And then like one of them is like, can I look at your phone? And I'm like, yeah. So I took out my phone. I'm like, yeah, see, I have the TikTok app and I'm trying, but I can't get back into my original account. And they're like laughing at me. They're just like, yeah, you just have to do this. I'm like, but it doesn't work.
Like, okay, boomer.
Oh, 100%, pretty much. But then one of them takes my phone and just follows, before I even realize, is following their account with the remade TikTok account that I had, and is going through their profile and liking all their videos with my account.
Of course.
And I'm like, it's
all about the likes.
Yo, in what world is it okay? Can you imagine if someone took your phone and went into Instagram and went to their profile?
No. And liked all their...
Yo!
No.
The audacity.
Well, you don't have to worry about that happening again for a while, because we have to keep a 2-meter distance. No handing phone. Sorry, baby, I can't give you my phone.
Yeah. Quarantine life, folks. Sorry, can't show you anything. Yo,
sorry.
Quarantine has been, it's been a weird ride. It's been a really weird ride.
Yeah. It's been a trip.
Yo, I mean,
like, I'm already socially distant.
Yeah.
I'm a homebody. I work for myself anyway.
Yeah.
So the actual like stay-at-home measures haven't really bothered me so much. It's been like the lack of contact with, say, my nephews and my loved ones, things like that. That's been hard. But like staying home.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Prime Minister.
Yeah.
I have to stay home. Okay.
Oh, internet
Oh,
provider.
Mr. Prime Minister, people have to stay away from me and not be uncomfortably close to me in the grocery store?
Okay.
Okay.
For me, it was when the internet providers started being like, "We're not going to charge you for overages right now. You guys just go online." I was just like, "Okay, yeah, yeah. I guess I'll just download every nothing because I don't download what."
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's been really tough.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, all I've been doing, I've been just building Lego and podcasting. Like, use the Batmobile 3,300 pieces. I built and I rebuilt X-wings. I rebuilt all the Lego stuff that I had because I just moved. That's the other thing. I just moved before this all happened. I moved on January 31st, and then within a
Wow.
month and like 6 weeks later, it's just like, yeah, you're gonna have to stop going outside. I was like, what?
Yeah.
What kind of apocalyptic movie is this? What are you talking about?
All of a sudden, you woke up one morning and it was Handmaid's Tale.
Yo,
Like,
yo, you go into the grocery store, everyone's keeping their distance, they don't look at each other in the eyes. It is Handmaid's Tale.
it's Handmaid's Tale.
God
And
damn.
when it's like, oh my God, there's flour?
Okay, yo. So
There's flour this week.
is flour really that scarce? Because you're the third person today who's made a reference to how hard flour is to find.
Honestly, it's shocking to me. I'm trying to figure out where all the people who were like claiming to have gluten intolerance,
Uh-
because there's no flour to be found in the grocery stores and there's no yeast. Everyone's baking bread. I'm like,
Yo.
where, like, okay, so now I really know
Yeah.
who's gluten free.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My friend and I made a joke. We were just like, yo, today, like, I was just like, how are you handling everything? She's just like, I'm good. And we were like giving each other a rundown of what we're doing to keep ourselves busy. And I messaged her. I was just like, at least we're not at the baking bread phase. And she's just like, that is when we know we're in the darkest part of our lives. And I was just like, yes, the baking bread quarantine section, it comes.
I know. I've told myself the same thing. I'm not there yet. I've thought about it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I know I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I'm having more frequent thoughts of like, oh yeah, maybe I should get a sourdough starter going.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, so
Why?
do you know what my quarantine, like, maybe I should thought is? Because it's funny enough, it makes me think of you. I've like every once in a while I'm like, should I smoke weed for the first time? Because we had that conversation before it got legalized. We said if it gets legalized, we will celebrate by smoking together. And I was just like, and in my head, I was just like, it ain't gonna get legalized. I was like, sure. And then it got legalized, and I was like, oh damn.
And you missed like the most epic 420. The whole month was 420.
I know. A lot of my friends were just like, yeah. It was pretty crazy watching my friends like really celebrate, because I didn't realize it was 420. I didn't realize that like the whole month was
day.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until like 15 days in, and I started noticing all my friends kept posting 420, and I was like, why are you guys posting 420? And then that's when it dawned on me, oh, it's April 2020. And that's when Brian realizes how innocent his mind is, because I genuinely did not realize. I was like, oh, okay, guys.
All right, cool.
Everyone's really excited for 420 this year. Like 2 weeks worth of posts about it.
Jeez.
Yeah. So yeah,
shove it down our throats with your weed marijuana propaganda and your agenda. It's a gateway drug.
Did you see all the memes where people were just like, if you told me 10 years ago weed would be legal and the 420, like the actual 420 month and year, I'd be stuck at home getting EI, smoking weed that gets delivered to me by the government? And I was just like, my God, what kind of craziness is this? Fuck, it's so wild.
I know. We're living the dream. And for the first couple of weeks of this quarantine situation, the SQDC was delivering to your door.
Are they not doing it anymore?
No, now they deliver to your post office. I don't know this firsthand. There's an SQDC literally 5 minutes from my house.
Okay, yeah. No, that's
but
fair.
I was told that they stopped delivering to your door, and now you have to go to the post office.
They probably had too many orders, because I knew.
Of course, they had too many orders.
Yeah, true.
It was toilet paper and weed flying off the shelves, bro. Because all my stoner friends were like, batten down the hatches. We're getting ready for the apocalypse. So it was like
Oh
the
shit.
soccer moms that I follow on Facebook
Yeah.
because most of them are my clients,
Yeah.
and then my stoner friends. So I'm seeing all the toilet paper gone on
Yeah.
one end of my social media feed and all the weed being like hoarded and compiled on the other side.
Yo, that is fucking amazing. I like that. I love your timeline has such an interesting dynamic to it.
It's
Like
crazy.
Pinterest and we dressed. There we go.
And the thing is, both demographics have needed me
Yeah,
tremendously
yeah,
throughout this time.
yeah.
The stoners have needed munchies, and the soccer moms hate their kids now. So they don't want to feed them. They don't want to cook anymore. This is how I've been surviving through this
Oh
period, keeping
man.
myself busy feeding them.
That is pretty great. That is so funny. Oh my god. I love it though. That does genuinely sound like a fun thing to do. And also when you start to realize that like what you're doing, and I should say also a big thank you for continuing to cook and stuff, because it could have been easy to be like, yeah, I really, they're giving out this money, self-employed. I'm sure I could figure out a check and just relax my mind. But no, you've been continuing. And when I saw the LJ's private dining, the quarantine meals and stuff, like the lasagna, the dumplings, there's like a whole bunch of different things. I was just like, man, that is really dope. I'm really happy that you're getting to continue that because that's fun. It's really fun.
Honestly, it's a mutually beneficial situation. Like it keeps me busy and it's given me a sense of purpose. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I took a few weeks to just kind of chill.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, 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 I need to do something
Yeah.
because I will go stir crazy.
Mm.
And I was already cooking up a storm, but I was eating it all. And with the gym clothes, like
Yo.
that was not a good look. So
I
yeah, and
finally.
I had a lot of people reaching out to me
Oh,
saying
dope.
like, "Oh man, now I'm home. I'm responsible for making all three meals every
Yeah.
day for me, my spouse, my partner, my kids, whoever." The variety is lacking. Or I had other people who were like stuck at home
Mm.
because they have compromised immune systems and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
um there was a little bit where the grocery delivery systems were so
Oh
backlogged
my god.
because of their
Yeah.
orders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was helping them avoid having to go out and giving them another option. So like it's been nice to give back to the community in that way.
Yeah.
And like I'm pretty like it's I don't want to sound like ignorant and taking my own health for granted, but I'm relatively healthy. I
Mm.
already don't like people or germs.
Yeah.
So if I'm the one like taking the hit, going to the grocery
Yeah.
store a couple more times than someone else would, um, I'll do it. It's fine.
That's dope. Yeah. Yo, Marissa, that's awesome. I want to thank you so much. This has been a great conversation. I had an amazing time talking with you.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been so fun catching up. I definitely want to hit you up more often. Geek out, especially music stuff, because I feel like you're right. We definitely could have just talked music even longer than we
We
did.
really,
Yeah,
we really could have.
Yeah,
Half of this episode was talking about
yeah,
music and
yeah.
TV,
Music and
which is perfect.
yeah, because that's what we always geeked out about that stuff, and that's fun.
I
And
mean, that's a whole vibe.
yeah, it really is. And I think people, because people have been in my DMs like, hey, what should I watch? Because they know I watch almost everything, so they're just like, okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because I sometimes feel like I'm doing a menu for them because I'm like, well, what do you like? What kind of programs do you enjoy? Oh, you like a good dramedy.
Okay.
Okay, do you like a little mystery in your dramedy? Because this new show Upload on Amazon has some dramedy aspects, but they sprinkle in a little bit of a thriller. It's quite
There you
tasty.
go.
Yeah. So
See, you are curating custom menus for people. It's just a different form of entertainment.
Oh my god, I wish I could do that.
You're satisfying a need.
Oh my god. If curating television playlists, like a list of shows people should watch based on interest, was a job, yo, tomorrow.
I think we might have just created something, honestly.
If y'all are watching this, I see a list of people: Jennifer Lee J. Shout outs to Jennifer Lee J. Mina, Robin, Jared, Daniel. All these people tune in. Ashley. Oh, Ashley tuned in. What's up? But if you guys are watching this, please don't steal our ideas, because it's been said.
No, or if you're gonna steal it, cut a check.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
that's fair. That's fair. Cheers to that. If
You
guys,
can have it. We're flexible. We will negotiate.
yeah, that's a good point. If you're gonna just keep in perpetuity, just let I get a little percentage.
Exactly.
That's
Little
fair.
royalty check every now and then, like that CERB.
Yeah, yeah,
Hold
Oh
on, hold
Lord.
on, Mr. Prime Minister. Wait, you're gonna pay me to stay
Yeah, yeah. Oh man.
home? I don't know why I voted for you.
Ah, this is crazy. Okay, well, I had so much fun. Do you want to tell people all your socials, like social
Thank
media,
you.
the website, everything?
Yeah, everything is LJ's Private Dining. It's a little bit of a mouthful, but once you remember it, it sticks.
It's
LJ's Private Dining on Instagram, on Facebook. That's the website, but Instagram's the place. Um, Everything's there. This week I took off
mm,
from doing food deliveries,
yeah.
but I'm back at it next week. There'll be a fresh menu dropping either Sunday night or Monday morning,
Okay.
so be on the lookout for that.
Any
And
any hints? Any
yeah, thank
hints?
you, Ryan, for having me. It's been a
Of
blast.
course, of course. Any hints of what the menu might be? Hints, hints.
I'm mulling over a couple of things, and honestly, I kind of go with what the weather forecast is going to be. If it's going to be
Oh,
kind of gloomy, then I'll make something more warm, and if
nice.
it's going to be nice and sunny, it'll have a lighter feel. So
Oh,
we'll have to wait.
smart, smart. I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to create a feeling, create a vibe.
No, that's smart. I like that. Yeah, that's like a whole like creating a vibe with the food sounds so smart. That's so cool. I dig
Yeah,
that. Okay, Marissa, thank you. Guys, I'm gonna sign off because I know if I keep talking to Marissa, we will literally just keep talking.
yeah, we
That's the
will.
energy. So thank you so much. Once again, check out LJ's Private Dining. I'm gonna put all the links below when you guys are watching this on IG. If you're watching this live right now, I've linked it in the watch party and all the other places. And that's the whole show. This is another edition of Not a Journalist with Brian Holiday. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in and being supportive and watching all my stuff. It's been great to see the feedback and also thanks. Some of you guys have been hitting me up to even be guests, which I appreciate. And yeah, so it's cool. It's really cool. Thank you. That's it. Peace, everybody.